Welcome to the second session of our 6-week look at the book of Colossians. Paul writes from house arrest in Rome to this small church in Colossae. In the Roman Empire was surrounded by many gods and philosophies. And this young church was in danger of losing its focus on Jesus and being pulled away from other philosophies and other thoughts and worship of other gods. This is a tiny little church in a sea of people who believe differently. And Paul wanted to refocus, re-energize this small community of faith and remind them that Jesus is superior to all others. And Jesus is superior to all others because Jesus can do two things that no one else can do. Jesus can show us what God is like, and Jesus can reconcile us to God. He provides us with a way of seeing God. God is infinite, He is mysterious, He is invisible. But Jesus is the visible expression of that invisible God. In Jesus, we see what God was like. And so if we look at Jesus, look at His life and the way He lived and the things He did, we see God. We see the one and only. So Jesus, like no other, is the visible expression of the invisible God. In Jesus, we see God. And also then, He is the only one who can reconcile us to God. We come into this world in a fallen state, and our sin separates us from God. We have a broken relationship with the one who created us. And in Jesus, through the cross, through His blood, His death, we can have a new, renewed, reconciled relationship with God. And so Paul wants to remind folks in Colossae that of all the other gods around and all the other philosophies, they're all inferior to Jesus, because Jesus shows us what God is like. And Jesus brings us into a right relationship with God. In Jesus, God says, come into my house. You are forgiven, you are redeemed. This week, read over the first chapter. Look at the questions to ponder and look at the commentary notes. I hope you have a great week reflecting on this second part of the first chapter. Thank you.